just radiated joy when he was playing. I was in awe of his ability, and we just had so much fun when we were singing and gigging, and he didn't really say much. He spoke with his guitar, and that was where his love, I think, radiated when we were together. So I'm just hoping that he's at peace, and I mean.
Thank you.
My name is Frank Paul DeRozzo, and I was with Randell and Sonia. In 1986, I auditioned for Fred Harris through Randy. I looked in the Advocate and somebody saw Five Shots Look for Drummers, so they made me go. I didn't even know who they were. And so I called. They're like, it'll be right for you. I'm like, I got long hair. I want to rock and roll. Five Shots Look. So I called, and Randy answered, and he says, well, come and meet us down Afro-American Culture Club, and I auditioned for him the first time, and now the next time, he said, well, we'll call you back, and I'm like, okay, 10 drummers went in, and I'll make a long story short, he called me after the third time, and says, you made it out of 30 drummers. I said, wow. I said, I can't believe it. So then he told me where to go for my first show. He guided me through the first years of the Five Satins, and he was my older brother, and I'll tell you right from the start, he said, you stay away from him, and him. Don't go near them. After rehearsal, don't go with them. And I was like, I had no idea why, you know. So then we're playing through the years, and then Randy would just tell me, you don't go with him, and I'm warning you now. I'm like, I'll fire you. I was like, Randy, I'm not going to. Come to find out, they were all going out shooting heroin. And they all died of AIDS. Well, we lost 5 of them. Anthony Rogers, Baby Boy, Frankie Williams, Marshall Manfred, our manager, Dog, Richie Bogan, all of them gone. And Randy saved my life because I came this close to going with these guys and sharing the needles with them. Because, you know, my drug of choice came to cocaine after years, and Randy warned me, there's going to be other stuff, you stay away from that. And Randy forgot to tell me about the cocaine. I can't get it all right, you know. So then anyways, I had my slip, I went up and down with that. You know, I was on the streets, Randy took me in. You know, after years, a couple years going through a divorce. After the Five Satins, we went down there, I was with them for over like 10 years, straight, off and on at the end. But then, we lost them one by one. And then, to tragedy, I just went with Randy through all of them. And he stuck by me. So, needless to say, he was my big brother. And then, when time came for him, you know, I'd move him out of here, move him out of there. I stuck with him. I got him an apartment across the street from my house so I could keep him close and watch him. And Randy was a real rock and roll star. He played for the Shirelles. He played for people that, like, Martha Reeves and Randell, yeah, the famous people he's introduced me to. It was outrageous. I used to have a stack of pictures this big, and Randy and I and Sonia, and I played the drums for the girls band a couple times, a couple girls bands. You might have been in one of them at the time. I used to practice down on Quinnipiac Avenue. Yeah. But Randy saved my life, and if it wasn't for him, I would have never got married for the second time. I would have been dead by then. But now I got married. I have a wife who's 20. Joseph is 15, and Brooke Angelina is 12. So thanks to Randy, I have a wife with a beautiful family, and I'm going to miss Randy deeply. I do have some pictures somewhere at home and on the computer of Randy and myself. Maybe I'll be able to share them with Sonia over time. But I have a collection of records from Randy that he gave me. Randy gave me so many things in life, and so did Sonia, that I will cherish and remember Randy forever and ever. But he really brings home mortality for me. Because Randy, you know, he did what he could to save my life. And at the end, I tried to help him, but you couldn't tell Randy no. Randy was the man. Randy was the boss, man. And, you know, so, but if anybody knew him well, I knew Randy very well. And I'm thankful for Sonia. You know, if we had more time, I could share some amazing stories. Walking around hotels in the middle of the night, going into the freezers, like Hotel Carlisle, Madison Square Garden, Radio City Music. We were like, dude, I was, you know, he had to keep me on a leash because I was going through all the three. We're hungry at night, and I can't go in there. I wish I could make a sandwich in the middle of a hotel.
Write them down, Frank.
Oh, I got so many stories with Randy, and we laugh. We have so many good stories. I got to share some to make you laugh. So you think literally.
You were a good friend to him, Frank. You were a good
I
friend.
love Randy. I always love Randy. My little kids love Randy. Oh, he used to say, "You take care of that family, that beautiful family of yours, Joey. I love you." He came in. We were both sloshed. I mean, we were moving one day. We were walking. The snow was this deep. We're moving into a new apartment somewhere in New Haven. We get out of the car. We both fell out into the snow, and we're both in the snow. And it was deep, and we're buried in the snow. Randy, where are you? I'm over here. Oh, he's in the snow too. And we had to get ourselves out of the snow. And we had to carry the stuff up the stairs. We were laughing. And other times, Randy came in my house. He fell right down on Joey. Big overcoat. He got this big leather coat, these heavy boots. Where's Joey? You're underneath. You're on top of him. Joey's going, "Hey, Randy." Joey's going, he didn't hurt him, but these are memories that we last a lifetime. And Joey, well, so Randy says, "I'm not quite out of the woods." "How you doing, Randy?" "I'm not quite out of the woods yet, Frank. I might go back into the woods if I don't stop, drinking." So Joey says at the table, "Randy, you live in the woods?" So Joey used to say, "Daddy, where's Randy from the woods? Is Randy coming here from the woods?" Randy's not in the woods now, Joe. But we got so many more stories. Well, thank you for letting me share. Randy, I love you. Love you, Randy. Goodbye, my friend.
Thank you, Frank.
Yeah.
So I'll go up. Thanks.
Thank you.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't want to wind up falling in the... well, here's a little thing. Everybody called him Randell, but the immediate family called him Randall. The reason why is because when he was 5 years old, just started kindergarten, around there, every time he would be introduced, they would call him Randolph or Randall, with an A. First grade, everybody. "Hey, Randall. Hey, Randolph." And he got sick and tired of it, so he was 5 years old. He started to say, "My name isn't Randolph. My name is Randell." For 40 years, he had to do that. Maybe longer. People would forget. They call him Randolph or Randall every time. No, my name is Randell, so that's where that nuance came from. But he started to play when he was 9. And we saw the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show, 1964. And I had just turned 13. But we told our father that we wanted to play. We had been playing a little bit before then, but I don't know how he did it, but he managed to get us a couple of guitars and a drum set, stuff like that, right? So let's see. Well, the first time Randall performed on stage, he was in the 6th grade. He was 11, and he had a friend named Leon that was also used to play. So they entered the talent show, 6th grade talent show, and they played 8 days a week by the Beatles. And they had on a couple of Beatle wigs and a plastic airline guitar. Now everybody wants them,
Oh, yeah.
But in those days it was just junk, But they did the song and all the kids cheered. They loved it. After the show was over, a couple of, let's say, politicized 12-year-olds wanted to beat them up for doing a white song. But they were scared of me, so it didn't go any farther than that. So when he was 14, he formed his first band, and he played bass in that. My father got him naturally the Paul McCartney Beatle bass, the Hofner bass, and then my older brother got him a Hagstrom, bright red. Then he started that band, and my little brother Timmy was in it also, and they played locally. So did I. I was in another band. We were all underage, but we were local, so they'd let us play in the bars and the clubs as long as my father or another chaperone. That's when his career really started to take off. And, he had a successful career over the years. He and Sonia were musical partners for a long time. right? And most bands only last a couple of years, you know that. And then it's all over, see. But music is what he loved. It wasn't the only thing. But that was his living. That's what he loved to do. The family supported him in it. And I'm glad he made it to 67. Most of the people in the family didn't live that long, you know. Just bad health or misadventure, and it was over, right? But well, Jimi Hendrix that was his favorite musician for a long time. Hendrix wrote a song lyric he never finished, but it's the story of life is hello and goodbye till we meet again.
Thank you. You guys still here? Just want to make sure my aunt can still see too. So, are you guys still able to hear?
Yeah, they're down in Florida.
Well, my name is Galen, and it's Randall's nephew, my dad. Yeah, honestly, you know, a couple of my memories of Uncle Randall, I think in Ansonia, I think one thing that comes to mind is just how excited they would get when we would go over there, or vice versa, over there, and he never could figure out for a long time. I never had any interest in guitar, and then like at all, and just didn't really care about it, and honestly, it's just because it's been around it my whole life. It's just you know, it's what it is. So then I think one day I picked it up, and then I was. I think it was me and I saw him in one room, and I think my dad and Uncle Randall in another room, and I think I heard around say, what the hell was that? And he was just me playing guitar, and he sort of blew me away. And you know, only for a couple months. And so he gave me his Ibanez Electric cherry red guitar and take home, and I actually gave that to my son. Not a few months ago, so he plays now too. But my last memory was him actually 2 years ago, right when I was dating my now wife, and I just so happened to bump into him in New Haven. Just gonna meet a buddy at his place, and you know, super happy to see Clay. I hadn't seen him in a long time. We were still get coffee or something, and he asked me, "Is there a lady in my life?" And I said, "Yeah, you know, my name's Katie." Said, well, I hope it works out, and it did, because, you know, we got married or something a couple years later, and that was 27, now I'm 35, 16 years ago, but, you know, Uncle Randall, he had a lot of energy, you know, to say the least, obviously, and a lot of spontaneity, and he, you know, despite everything, he loved his family, and everything, you know, his family and music, that were, I think it's two loves. Off the top of my head. Anyway, let's play like Randall. That's all. Thank you.
Really long time. We met in a band. How we met. And what I noticed first about him was his amazing, like, radiating smile. It was beautiful. It was shy, and it was like inward. But it was an amazing, bright, shining smile. I thought he was adorable. And somehow, I gave him my number. I don't remember, it was a really long time ago. But I asked him to come scout the guitar with me. So we went to now different Colby, and we drove downtown New Haven.
Yeah. It's gone now.
He called it a cute screen an ESP guitar. And he said, "No, good, that is a cute guitar." So I'm like, okay. But so I got something that's like 4 times or 3 times more expensive. It's Gibson Spirit, and it's still a classic. I have it. He took it with him sometimes. He took it to Radio City and it's in Madison Square Garden. So that guitar's in there with him. Still have it. He was a scholar. He loved to read. He read a ton of letters. He loved history. He loved astronomy. He loved, a lot of Egyptian history, the African history, and he read, and then later we would talk about nutrition and that, and we tied it all together into one of these, like, global continuum of life. He called himself sometimes a con man. He did not mean it in any bad sense of the word. He meant it in that he was a person that would give people confidence. Like, he would build them up. He would tell them, positive things. He would always tell me, how good I was, or we're not building faster, we'll get better that way. And he did that, and he did make me believe. He made me, he spent, I don't know how many days and hours teaching me chords to song. And he had endless patience. And he had endless patience trying to figure out new technology at the time, which was sequencers, which was the computers that are music data for you. He would spend hours, and he did hundreds of songs for us that way. And I wrote a card thanking him for his patience. And one of the things was he knew what to do in circumstances where I didn't have any resources, and he would know what to do. He was, and he knew what to do and how to help. I thank him for, we had a cat, and he used to let that cat choo out endlessly, and in and out, and in and out. I'm like, why are you doing that? I don't know. Also that I'm thankful that we fell asleep every night, like in each other's arms, so I'm really glad. And even when we were apart, he's very tenacious, and he would call me all the time, sometimes when I didn't want him to, but I love him always, and, I helped him when I could, and he helped me. He almost, he partially raised me a little bit, and I love him for his very unique perspective on the world. I think he was a very wise person.
He loved you very much. Loved you to the end. He would never stop talking about that. Yeah.
He was a very wise and sometimes tortured person, and I was tortured in my own way. We could find each other's stuff when we lost it. So in a very interesting way, we had a lot of each other's missions to do. I'll always love you. I miss you already. That's all I got.
Thank you, Sonia. And thank you for putting up with me all them years, Randy. Sometimes when you didn't want me around.
Such a loving friend and partner.
Just between the ropes so it won't keep
Such a
falling.
loving friend till the end. So faithful and weeping by his side as he was dying. Just wanted to acknowledge that, how special that was, and how, you can have a sense of peace knowing that you did absolutely everything that you could to allow him not to be alone at the end.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for sharing. At this time, at Tony's request, we are going to lower the casket in the grave. So then, and you brought your own shovel.
I have a shovel.
Has a shovel for a certain tradition of putting a little bit of dirt on top of the grave, okay? You can talk amongst each other while I'm going to flag them down, okay?
Yeah. Can we put flowers on him before?
Yeah, you could do that baby steps. really up to the family. You can start, you should take a flower each and place it on top of the casket. You could wait until it's lowered. Some people throw it in.
We'll do that. How about we do that?
Yeah, throw them in and then.
Put the dirt on, then the flowers, right?
Yeah.
They might grow down there.
You never know. He wanted seeds, and he got seeds, but more seeds are better.
What a beautiful spot that you found here. Really nice place. I like it. This tree's gonna grow, I suppose, right?
Yes, that's why I wanted it in a new tree.
Should be
It's in the
growing in
first, yeah.
shade
Oh,
20
good.
years.
Yeah.
You know the old joke,
20 years.
right? It's such a beautiful place. People are just dying to get in.
Yeah, right. That's why they have a fence around there. So I remember you when you had one here.
Yes, I did. You probably had a big beard too.
Yeah, you were not Florida. That's too.